Hey, how's it going, guys? John here from DOCasts. In this episode, we're going to get LAMP installed on your Cent0S 6 distribution. So let's go ahead and start from the beginning. We'll enter our host name. I'll enter it as sample Cent0S. I'll choose the smallest size just for example's sake, the region closest to me. Then I'll go ahead and set myself up with the Cent0S 6.4 64-bit here, and then I'll create the droplet. Alright, so now that the droplet has been created, I'll go to my email and I'll check my inbox for my root user login for the command line. So I'll open up my iTerm program and then I'll SSH into my root user with my droplet IP address. And if you're not sure what that is, you can look at your control panel or within the email that was sent to you and just copy this one right here. It's going to ask you to validate the authenticity of this host, and I'll just go ahead and enter yes. Then it's going to ask for your password. Again, this password was sent to you via email. Alright, and now I'm logged into my droplet, so I can go ahead and clear up. Let's first go over what LAMP stack is. Now, LAMP stands for Linux, Apache, MySQL, and PHP. It's a group of open source software that helps you get a web server up and running so that you can run your PHP websites like the very popular blogging platform known as WordPress. And if you have any questions about WordPress, you can go ahead and check out their website at wordpress.org. But let's go ahead and let's dig into getting the Apache, MySQL, and PHP installed on your Cent0S droplet. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use the yum command to get Apache installed. And Apache is basically your web server. It's a very popular web server. To get that installed, you just use the sudo command with yum and install httpd. Alright, and let's go ahead and press enter. It's going to go ahead and download everything for you and get it installed on your Cent0S droplet. Just make sure you type Y and agree to the prompts here. Alright, so now you have Apache installed. So let's go ahead and start it up using the sudo service httpd start. Now, if we go to our server IP address, which we can get within our droplet control panel again, so we'll take this IP address here, we'll open up a new tab, and we'll put the IP address within the browser address bar, and you should see, hey, the Apache test page is up. Right on, we got our web server working. So let's go back into the terminal, and now let's get MySQL installed. MySQL is one of the biggest database management systems in the world. It's very widely used, and again, it's also used by the WordPress open source blogging system. So to get MySQL installed, let's use the yum command again. That is sudo yum install mysql-server. I'm going to have all these commands within the code notes below this video, so don't worry about pausing the video and trying to write all of these down. It's going to be there for you. I'll press enter. I'll press Y for yes. And then I'll go ahead and run one more thing to start up MySQL. So sudo service mysql dstart. And it went ahead and it started up MySQL just fine. You'll see that with the OK that it's given you. Now, once you're done installing MySQL, you're going to want to set the root MySQL password. You can do that using the secure installation right here. So we'll go ahead and run that with sudo. And it's going to ask me for the current password for root. So because we haven't set a password yet, you can just click enter. And then make sure in this portion, you type in Y for yes and set that root password. Set it to something that's hard to guess, that someone can't just come and log into your server and automatically get into your MySQL database. You don't want other people messing around with the secure information that you're going to store within your database management system. So make sure it's something that is a hard password to guess and something that you don't use for any other application. On top of that, make sure you remember what this password is. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and type a password in here. I'll press enter, and you'll notice that the password's not showing. Don't worry, the system has got your password stored. So if you press enter, make sure you remember what you typed. Now it's going to ask me to re-enter that password. Now press enter. And then it's going to ask if I want to remove anonymous users, of course. Disallow remote login, of course. Remove the test databases, yes. And reload privilege tables now, yes. So now we want to make sure that we install PHP, and we can do that using the yum command again. So sudo yum install PHP MySQL. So it has that association. Alright, so we'll get that installed. Make sure you agree to the prompts. And alright, so PHP is now installed. So now let's say that you're a PHP developer and you want to make sure that you have certain modules installed. You can do that running the yum command again, and you're going to search PHP. Alright, so these are the modules that you can install. All you have to do is sudo yum install, much like the other installations that we just ran, and then we're going to take the name here and you'll just append it to the end of this command. And what that'll do is it'll install the PHP module for you. So if you hit enter, it'll go out and grab the information, pull it in for the installation process. So yes to approve the installation, and voila, we now have that module installed on our Cent0S droplet. So that's it. You actually have LAMP installed on your droplet. Let's just make sure that within this Cent0S droplet that when the server reboots or starts up, that everything automatically starts with it. So we'll use the sudo check config httpd on. Sorry about that. I messed up the spelling for sudo there. Alright, so then that will make sure that Apache starts when you first start the server up. Now let's do the same thing for MySQL. Alright, so those settings are now set. Let's go ahead and change the directory to our www directory, and we'll do that by leaving our root or our home directory for our root user. Then I'll check the files there using the ls command. I'll change directories into var. Check the files once more. Change directories into www. Check the files here once again. Now let's go into our HTML folder. And you notice that ls is run, but there's no other files in there. So let's go ahead and create an info.php file. And we can do this using vim. So I'll vim info.php. Oh, look, vim's not found. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that vim is installed. Well, you don't have to. You can actually use the sudo nano command to open up a different editor. But I personally like vim, so I'm just going to install it within this video. And I'm going to do that using the sudo yum install vim. Yep, that's okay. And boom, I have vim installed. Now I can move along with creating that info file. So I'll just vim info.php. All right, and then I'll press I for insert. Then I'll go ahead and input my PHP tags, then the PHP info command. And then I'll use the escape key to go back into command mode, then colon WQ. You'll see that down here. What that means is write and then quit. So I'll press enter. So it went ahead and it created the info file. If I want to see if it's there or not, I'll just use the ls command. And yeah, the info file is there. So if we go back to the browser and we append dash info to the end of this, dash info.php, we should be given that PHP info page. Actually, before I do that, let's make sure that we restart Apache here. Sudo service httpd restart. Boom, it restarted. It's fine. Now let's go back into the browser. Let's append the info.php to the end of it, and now it's giving us our PHP version and all the information about our PHP installation here. So again, congratulations on getting LAMP installed. I hope this video has helped you. If you have any comments about the video, please feel free to comment below. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.